Corey. Today we weren't really learning about anything in particular, which means that we were all doing our own thing and we were all learning from everyone else who was learning. That was quite an intense thing when you set all of these little minds free on their own things and give them very few parameters in which they may explore or utilize that time. And that time is somewhat, it is not like your time because we do have some leeway not only in how we experience it, but how we may be able to play with it conceptually. So that is, there are so many differences between our worlds. And we have to learn about a lot of worlds so we can explain to you about a lot of worlds and a lot of beings that come from a lot of worlds. And there are, of course, there are good. At least you don't have to learn a whole lot of names when you get to the telepathic level. But anyway, we won't go into that. That is a lesson for another day, as they say, and apparently, as we say. So we will, we were glad to come by and to stop in and to share our energetic love balls of creation that come and they pop in your heart and they spread little feelings or big feelings of love energy throughout your whole body. That's what we want you to feel it, feel it, feel it. We know that you did. We can tell we sensed the proper response to in the affirmative or to give us that extra jolt of us because we know we sent that to you. So anyway, you can do that too, you know. You guys do that when you think about other things, but it is really not all that focused, and there's not a lot of knowing belief behind it, which really makes it more effective. So maybe you guys should practice on that. Practice. But anyway, and yeah, you practice on your singing lessons. You know people who sing. So, so that would be a good thing. And everybody should practice on your singing lessons so we can have the best harmonization as possible amongst all of the intelligences that are there. And we'll try to work something out so that the final products can be edited if they need to in a very fine fashion. And we will of course, make recordings on our end because we are always learning and other beings are always learning from us. And that is a great stopping point for their consciousness because as we are telepathic they can just focus and connect with us in ways and we operate in that way as a educational tool or an actual teacher for those other beings because all of the other beings understand that every creature is different and they understand that regardless of our purpose or our lifetime as you would know it that it is the value of being, which is important, and how that relates to them is not as important, but the fact that it does is important. So that is it's kind of a subtle concept, but we know you guys can handle that. So we will, as you guys say, fade into the distance. But it won't be really a distance, but it is more of a linear conceptual distance, and you guys really need to shorten it. Do what you can, bring us in sooner, reel those hyper children in on your little love fishing line and or your big love fishing line and get all these other people to cast lines in and you can bring us in and then once we land we'll all celebrate in our hearts and forevermore. And we love you and we will catch up with you as you say again. And we will go now. And it is almost time. We're having sustenance too. We can talk about that another day. Bye now. Ooh.